What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel. We got a dope video for y'all today. Today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna be doing kind of like a gear review. I really appreciate all the support we've been getting on the channel. I love doing the BTS videos. I love inviting y'all into, you know, the shoots and having fun and all the adventures and stuff. But I've been getting a lot of questions, you know, about my gear and, you know, like tips and tricks, or, you know, asking if I could do reviews. And one of the questions that I got when I thought would be a pretty good video to start off with, these kind of videos, the gear review videos, what is my go-to camera? I own a lot of cameras. I've used a lot of cameras, and I always go back to the exact same one. It's my boo, my baby, you know what I'm saying? The Nikon D850, bro. What a beauty. Look at that, I got it sleeved up. That's how you know I love this camera. I sleeved it up. You know, I gave it that little camo sleeve. Look at that, bro. That's so dope. Because every time we shoot, we go into war, bro. But you know what? I should take the sleeve off for the purposes of this video. Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm violating my camera, bro. I have been rocking with this camera for a very long time. I am obsessed with it. It is like, it never fails me. Never fails me. But yeah, the Nikon D850 is my camera of choice. I'll try them all. I started out, I've been shooting for like, what, 10 years now. My first camera ever was a Nikon D7100. That's what I learned on. And also a tip for y'all photographers just starting out: do not just start out with like an advanced camera like the D850, because it's pretty pricey. Mirrorless cameras are even more expensive than the DSLRs now. This is a rule of thumb for all y'all photographers who are just starting out. If you are trash with a cheap camera, an expensive camera will not save you, bro. I know they say you get what you pay for, but in this case, your skills as a photographer, your experience as a photographer matters for something, bro. So if you're just learning, get the cheapest camera, learn that camera, learn about your shutter speeds, learn about your ISOs, learn about your f-stops, your aperture, things like that. Learn how cameras operate and the different lights. I wouldn't even recommend buying a strobe or a flash. Like, try to shoot in natural light and try to see what you can do with your ISOs or your shutter speed. See how far you can push the picture. Learn what you can, and then as you graduate as a photographer, you can buy, you know, the camera that suits your needs. But anyway, back to my camera of choice, the D850, which is like, again, my boo. I can't sing enough praises about this camera. Now, I have been rocking with this for like, what, 5-6 years now, and it still holds up to this day. I would put it against any one of the mirrorless cameras. And I guess the reason why is, for one, I love the sturdiness. I love the grip. Like, it just feels right in my hand. I got huge hands. Look at that. Wow. Huge hands, so it just feels right. I love the sturdiness. I love the durability, as opposed to mirrorless cameras, because they're smaller. Because with DSLR cameras, you know, you have the mirror inside the camera. That's why the camera is more bulky. You know, it's fatter. And that's why with the mirrorless ones, the mirrors they take the mirrors out. So that's why the mirrorless cameras are smaller and they weigh less. Like, this is like this camera, just the body, weighs like 2 pounds. Is a big boy, man. But I like that feeling. I like that it's durable. And another reason why I like the D850, the battery life is longer. Like, I've done like day-long shoots. I'm talking like 4 or 5 shoots without changing the battery. I think you can get like 2,000 shots or something like that. That's assuming you're just looking through the viewfinder and not using like the LCD. If you use the LCD, stuff like that, the battery drains more. But if you put it against a mirrorless camera and you shoot under the same conditions, the DSLR will always last you a longer time. And this thing is sharp, bro. Like, it is sharp. When I moved up from the 7100 to the D850, I was like, what is this, bro? Like, I was freaking out. Like, I was like, bro, like, it was amazing, the quality of pictures that I was getting, like, straight out of the camera. So the D850 is still a good camera if you're debating whether you should get a DSLR or mirrorless or, you know, anything like that, I would definitely recommend the D850 because it suits your needs. Well, then again, it depends on the needs of the photographer. For example, the D850, you don't want to be shooting video on this because even though it has 4K, it doesn't shoot 4K in 60 FPS, and it's just not the best for video. And plus, you don't want to be shooting video on this anyways. I use something else for my videos, but that's a whole other video that I'll make. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I use this mainly, and actually I use this solely for pictures. You don't want to be shooting video in this. You don't want to shoot things like nature or sports, because I feel like first of all, the D5 is better, which is the series after this. So yeah, if you're trying to shoot like moving subjects or maybe babies, because they can't pose or anything like that. You can't control what a baby does. I don't even think a baby can control what a baby does. So you're gonna need a camera that can shoot fast, that can capture fast moving objects, and that can also do a little bit better in conditions that are not under your control. Like, this is perfect for portrait photography. Like, if you're a photographer who shoots like fashion, models, still objects, things like that, this camera will suit your needs very well. But if you're trying to go outside and do all, you know, we don't like to shoot outside, bro. I hate shooting out in the sun. If I have to, I'll do it. But bro, you could miss me with that. But anyways, yeah, you don't want to be shooting that kind of stuff with this camera. So if that's the camera that you need, I would go with like some mirrorless brands, or the D5, which is the model up from this. And you'll be asking, oh, so would you prefer the D5 over the D850 if you're a portrait photographer? I would say no. I tried it, but it wasn't that much of a difference for me to justify the price. And also, I just feel more comfortable with the D850. So again, it just depends on your needs. Also, you don't want to shoot this for like events, for example, a wedding, stuff like that. You don't want to use this for weddings or anything because it's loud. It's loud because of the mirror. The mirror's inside here. If you want a quiet camera, then the mirrorless is for you. But just imagine, bro, you're out here shooting weddings, and then you just, you know, the pastor's like marrying off the couple, then you just hear shotguns in the back. That's his camera, bro. That's his camera in quiet situations. It is loud, bro. Loud. So if you need to shoot in quiet situations, then do not get the D850. But if you're a portrait photographer, then yes, the D850 will do you well, bro. But yeah, it's less expensive than the mirrorless cameras. This would cost you like around $2,000, depending on if you get it brand new. You could get it used like for around $1,700 as of making this video. But yeah, as far as price point, it's very affordable. If you want to go with the mirrorless, then be prepared to spend that moolah. You know what I'm saying? Also, the lenses. The lenses, I feel like DSLR cameras have a wider array of lenses, more versatile. And then on top of that, if you have DSLR lenses already, you have to get a converter and you have to go through all that stuff. So that's another thing. But yeah, we'll go through comparisons and compare, because I have mirrorless cameras as well. I shoot with mirrorless cameras, I shoot with DSLR cameras, and you know, I could do a comparison of both. Let me know if that's something y'all want to see in the comments. Actually, I'm going to do it anyway, so no matter what you say in the comments. Actually, I do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, the D850, the specs are really nice. I think there's a reason why they haven't made a new model of the D800 series, because this camera is just so good. Like, I don't think there's anything that you can do that much better than the D850 without moving to like a mirrorless, I think. Because like I said, this camera, it stands the test of time, bro. It is like, this camera came out in what, 2017? And it's still superb, bro. Like, the sharpness, it's very hard to find a camera that can compete with the image quality of the D850 without spending like over $2,000 or $1,500 to $2,000 more. So I would definitely, again, I'm saying this again, definitely recommend this camera. It's 46 megapixels. The shutter speed is like 1/8000th of a second. ISO goes up to I think around 25K, something like that, and the lowest is 62K, so it's really good in low lighting. It does okay with, I guess, moving objects, but like I said, it really shines in portrait photography and things like that. That's why for me, every time I try to leave, bro, my boo comes back to me. It calls my name, and I'm like, I'm so sorry I left you, bro. So yeah, the Nikon D850, that's the camera that I use. This is responding to the questions that I got. What's my go-to? What do I recommend? As far as recommendation, I'm very careful with using that term because, like I said in the beginning of the video, it depends on your needs, it depends on your experience level, it depends on your budget, depends on a lot of things. So use what feels right to you, experiment, and whatever. You will always grow as a photographer. You'll always find new techniques. You'll always, buy new lenses that suits better with different bodies, things like that. There's a lot of things that goes into this hobby or this profession, if you're lucky enough to be a photographer as a profession. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about the D850, the camera of my choice. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have any other questions or any thoughts on my next video, or what gear I should do next, or what topic I should cover next, make sure you leave your comments below, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.